know that we've got fantastic. All right. So thanks everybody for coming to this, the 2026 annual general meeting for the New Zealand chapter of the International Council on Systems Engineering. So what I am going to do is before we get started, I want to make sure that we've actually I could start the screen share slideshow. Share. That one. Yeah. Can I get somebody to confirm that? Oh, wait, there we go. Can I get somebody to confirm that that's sharing, please? And thank you.
Yes.
I can see it.
Awesome. So the entire chat and people screen has completely disappeared because why would I want to see that while I'm presenting? So please make sure that if you need to get my attention for one reason or another, that you speak up. And if I run over somebody, or if you're in the audience and you notice that I haven't caught something, or audible cues, please, and thank you. So welcome. The first thing we'll do is establish a quorum, run through, then confirm the minutes of the last AGM from 2025. We've got a financial report that Tom Mackay will run through. We've got the chapter annual report that I'll run through, disclosure of conflicts of interest. We have no member motions scheduled, so the only motions today will be regarding the adoption of the financial report and the annual report. And then if time permits, then all other business and time permitting, a demo of INCOSE Connect, which is a new way, a new portal, a new tool for INCOSE members to engage with each other and with INCOSE working groups and sort of technical bodies. But before we start any of that cool stuff, we need a quorum. That shouldn't say 60 members. That should say 59 members. So what I'm going to do is I've got a list of people who RSVP'd that they would be here, and their membership status. And so I'm going to run through the list of people who I'm expecting to be here, and then anybody not present will go through you next. Sound good?
Yep.
Of course it sounds good. Cool. So Ryan Bougen, present?
Present.
Chris Berganza?
Present.
Thank you very much. I do need a verbal present and or something in the record because I can't see anything in the chat right now. Jackie Chung. Not present. Hamish Curry.
Present.
Thank you. Luke Fisher. Duncan Fogg.
Here.
Thank you. Ben Jones. Andy Kerr. Janusz Schlocksman.
I'm there.
Yasmin Mujanich.
Present.
Ryan O'Donoghue.
Yep, present.
Russell Pynchon.
Present and accounted for.
Thank you. Hannah Ralph.
Yes, present.
Good. Eric Richardson.
Present.
Jan Root,
Present.
Shayton Sawyer, Jos Spans,
Present.
Gary Speechley.
Here. Present.
Thank you. Michael Stewart. No. All right. Jessica Tucker, present. Steve Wallace.
Present.
Great. John Welford.
No,
Present.
no, it's the same drawing.
Russ
but it's-
McMullen.
Present.
Great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. Okay, that is so now we'll go down the list of if you did not hear your name called, but you are present, can you please put your hand up, and then Steve, can you help me see who to call on next?
Will do. So we have Tom McKay,
Who's present?
Very good. Yes.
Nathan King,
Yes.
Ben Coyle Smith,
Present.
Stand by. Yep. Yep.
Kelly Loving,
Yep.
and that is all.
So I noticed Andy Kerr is on the line. Maybe he had a unmuting issue.
Andy Kerr, are you here with us today?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I am.
Yes. Great. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Present.
And Karina Lepik is here as well.
Thank you.
And this is Tim Brown. I'm here.
Thank you. Any others present who have not said so? Longest 9 seconds ever. So by my count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 members present, and I've checked that against the list of against the membership list. So we've got 24 current members present. We have a quorum. We can begin. Yay! Hurdle 1 achieved. All right. So this is a simple membership vote. Again, maybe Tom and Steve and John, if we can I please get your help in determining whether why can't I want to see the chat. I want to view the chat. Show me the chat. Cool. And I want to see the participants list. Cool. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is we'll just everybody knows, does everybody know how to do the reactions, putting your hand up, putting a thumbs up in the for the record, I will simply poll those present to determine whether to determine the vote. Okay, so the question on the table is, does the membership accept the minutes of the 2025 annual general meeting? When I call your name, please answer yes or no. Ryan Bougen. Ryan, are you still with us?
Yeah.
Muting problem.
Yeah.
Apologies, Ryan Boughton speaking. Comms failure. I approve or
Okay.
accept. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Chris Berganza.
I accept.
Great. Tim Brown.
Yep, I accept.
Great. Ben Coyle-Smith.
Yep, I accept.
Thank you. Hamish Curie.
Yes, I accept.
Duncan Fogg.
I don't think I was there, so I'll argue I'd have to abstain, but I don't have a problem. How we would play that.
Okay, no problem. At one abstention. Andy Kerr.
Same as Duncan, I wasn't there.
All right. Abstain. Danush.
Yes, I accept.
Great. Karina.
Accept.
Kelly Loving.
Accept.
Tom Mackay.
Accept.
Yasmin.
Accept.
Brian O'Donoghue.
Accept.
Russell Pynchon.
Accepted.
Hannah Ralph.
Yep.
Eric Richardson.
Yes, I accept.
Jan Root.
Yes, accept.
Yeah. Yas.
Accept.
Gary Speechley.
I abstained because I was not present at the meeting.
Very good.
No objection, so.
I, Jessica Tucker, accept. Steve Wallace.
Accept.
John Welford. John.
Accept.
Thank you. Russ McMullen.
I abstain. I have not read the notes.
All right. So if by my count that was 4 abstentions and the balance accepts, does that sound about right?
Yep.
Thank you very much. Cool. So we passed the motion's passed. The minutes from the last AGM are accepted. We'll turn this over to Tom for the financial report.
The moment everyone's been waiting for. So it's a bit more gone on versus years gone by because we had a conference. So we do get a portion of our fees that come back to us from INCOSE Central that's for funding conference activities. So that's the 3,000 that or 3,365 at the top. And then we also made some money from the conference, and a lot of the most of our money we made was from the conference. So the income we had last year was $28,327.75. And then the majority of our expenses were on the conference as well. And then we had an event and some costs to maintain our website. But on the balance of it all, we have a surplus of $11,000 for the year. That is without going to the taxman, which will impact that a bit. But if you're getting taxed because you've made some money, that's better than being the other way around. So if you move on, Jess. So we currently have $17,161 in our bank account, but some of the 177 of it is money that we have held in escrow for one of our members that was doing CSEP, a CSEP course, and we have to release that back. So what we actually own in that bank account is that $16,984 number. So yeah, that is our financial position, which is pretty good. So we can probably look at having some initiatives going forward that cost money. That's all I have to say about that, unless anyone's got any pressing questions.
Thanks, Tom. Any questions for Tom? If you wouldn't mind putting your hand up. All right, we'll take it. Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much. Cool. So now I get to do my favorite part. I look forward to this every year. And that is to give you all an update on the chapter activity and chapter status. So currently our membership is sitting right around 58. Asterisk, I think that might actually be 59 because of an IM exchange with a member earlier today. There's a few members whose membership recently expired. And unfortunately, I didn't check last week. I only checked today. So yeah, too bad. At the same time, we do have new members of the chapter who have joined us, reflecting an increase in membership from organizations in aviation, in defense, and in government. So that's pretty cool. The INCOSE New Zealand continues to hit above its weight when it comes to systems engineering, or the fraction of our members who are systems engineering accredited, systems engineering professionals. In this, at present time, we have 20 systems engineering professionals in amongst 58 members. And so if you're doing the math, that is better than 1 in 3. So yay. And that includes, while that shows a net of +2, we actually have 3 new SEPs since our last AGM, Karina Lepic, Ryan O'Donoghue, and Sean Grant. So congratulations to those folks for getting the first step across the line. For systems, sort of formalizing a systems engineering professional accreditation. If you are currently an ASEP and interested in CSEP, or you don't have a SEP and you're keen to learn more about it, the process for it, the expectations, get in touch. The committee members and others in the chapter who have been through the process are very excited to be able to share, why we've done it, what value we derive from it, how we've been able to be successful, what we did to prepare for the exam, and all that jazz. So really, it's not as hard as you think. Please get in, please get in touch. So here's the year in review. We had a pretty cool year last year with 6 meetups across a wide variety of topics, and a systems engineering conference, a 2-day, day and a half systems engineering conference, first of its kind. When I moved to New Zealand in 2018, I was shocked that there wasn't for the number of systems engineers I found myself amongst, that there wasn't a New Zealand chapter. And since then, if you'd told me in 2022, when we kicked this adventure off, that 3 years later we'd be hosting a conference with international attendees. These slides are out of order, sorry. With international attendees, and one of the coolest pins and t-shirt designs of any that I'd seen, I would have said, no, there's no way. So it's really fantastic. It's a real testament to this community, like y'all, that we pulled it off. We did it. We pulled it off. And frankly, that there's appetite for more. So as part of this exercise, of course, we asked for feedback from conference attendees and everything, and overwhelmingly positive. And not just like, it was cool, but here are some things that were wrong. It was, this was great. Can we please have more of this? So I think that the enthusiasm in this community, the quality of the technical presentations and technical interchange that took place, and the quality of the networking that we got to do as a New Zealand systems engineering community in person over a longish, couple of days, that was chef's kiss. That was really cool. So Key, thank you very much to the committee that helped to organize that show. Danush, Locksman, Steve Dennehy, Tom Mackay, Hennis Tong. It feels weird, but thanking myself, but sure, whatever. This was a community-driven exercise with members of the community making decisions and having influence over the choices that were made. So 10 of 10. Oh, and Kareem Nasli. I'm sorry, I left Kareem off that list. Kareem also contributed materially and significantly to the planning of this exercise of that conference as well. My bad. That's an error in the slides.
I'm happy to thank you on behalf of the community as well, Jess, for your efforts.
Thank you. That's a lot of caffeine. So now I'm going to go back to this slide, which is again out of order. An AGM like this is an opportunity to sort of stop and reflect on what we did, right? Obviously, the conference is a big deal. But in addition to that, we also hosted 6 meetups from a wide range of presenters on a very wide range of topics, everything from the Technology Leadership Institute within INCOSE through the application of systems engineering of the verification validation as early in the system process as possible for risk management. It was all the topics. It was very cool. We published a letter to deans. So each of the deans of engineering, the leads of engineering at the tertiary education organizations here in New Zealand, got a letter on INCOSE letterhead, endorsed by 13 organizations and individuals across our membership, saying we need you to teach some fundamental systems concepts, systems thinking, requirements and V&V, and system architecting and design analysis. We need you to incorporate these into the engineering education so that we, as the profession, don't have to teach this from scratch to all the graduates who come our way. We also held 2 in-person CEP exams, knowledge exams, to support the certification and accreditation of new members. And that saw, 3 new CEPs recognized, as I've already made a big deal about. The business case working group, which we stood up in late 2024, completed and published the first chapter authored technical output around the golden thread and an approach for business case improvement here in New Zealand. So if you've used the better business case process, there's some tweaks that you can make to that will increase the likelihood of achieving, tweaks that are systems engineering in nature that can be applied that will increase the likelihood of achieving good outcomes, we think. That material is available, on our website. We published it. We had a presentation about it at the New Zealand Systems Engineer Conference. Like that, we set out to do it, and we did that. And one of the coolest things is we got CPEng for SE recognized. So if you are a systems engineer in New Zealand, you are now eligible to apply for Chartered Professional Engineer with SE as your practice area under Engineering New Zealand. So talk about taking the profession to its next level. Like that's a big deal. I've already talked about the conference. I'll gloss over that. But again, kudos. We began this effort in 2023, really in earnest. Some initial discussions with false starts happened earlier than that, but it really began in 2023, and with continued support from members who showed interest in asking about this. This is a benefit that collectively you all wanted. we put the time in we did the mahi to get this one across the line. And Tom, thank you very much for your effort and energy in being running point, so that Engineering New Zealand knew who to talk to about this, so that we could get it across the line. And again, the New Zealand Business Case Working Group. This was the first activity of its kind. We stood it up with with the intent of developing and publishing an INCOSE New Zealand authored piece of technical work and guidance. And collectively, we did. It's been published. It's been presented. I think it's being, it's been at least shared with, if not used by, its intended audience. And so massive thanks to John Welford, Karim Nosley, Steve Dennehy, Hanissa Tong, Smriti Nair, and Sam Jones for the energies that you all poured into this over an extended period of time. You volunteered. You volunteered your free time to do something that has made a difference, and that is amazing. And I think collectively we should be not just grateful, but really proud to be part of an organization that's doing that. So the year ahead, right? If we look backwards and said, what have we done? This is a year ahead kind of thing. Here today, the annual general meeting. We have a social event. David Long, who is an awesome speaker. If you happen to be in Auckland on the 9th of May or are willing to dial in, I think we're going to try to arrange virtual participation as well. But please come in person, because it'd be great to chat with David. David's going to come and give a talk tailored to an INCOSE New Zealand audience. Just about 10 days from now. Later in May, we've got a meetup on the books from a speaker who's looking at systems approaches for critical ground infrastructure in space enterprise. We're working with a speaker in the UK for a June meetup. We've got some topics on the books, potentially, fingers crossed, for later in the year. And we're aiming to have another, at least 6, if not more, open technical meetups where a presenter comes and talks to us as a community about things that matter to us. If you have things you want to hear about, or if you happen to want to have a platform to talk about something cool, please get in touch. We are always looking for topics and ideas. The International Symposium is in June this year. I'm not aware of anybody who's planning to attend that, but that's also a big deal. We have had representation at that in the past. If you look across the top, there are 3 sort of bright green, hard to miss callouts up there. One of them is an INCOSE New Zealand chapter strategy. And planning to socialize that for member review in June. The committee got together in November of last year and pulled ideas together. INCOSE has changed its strategy, has refined its strategy, and has in the time between then and now provided some additional guidance to chapters on things we can do to be effective as both engaging with our members who are the practitioners of our profession, but also funneling feedback back upstream. So I promise, I've been tracking in action for some time on this one, and I promise that by June something will be ready for member review. And review and comment. Later in the year, probably in the November-ish kind of time frame, but maybe as late as January, we'll open expressions of interest for nominations for the chapter committee, for the roles in the chapter committee. And we'll hold an election in February of next year for a new committee that will be installed in April 2027. And on the back of our very successful 2025 New Zealand Systems Engineering Conference, maybe will be interest in a 2027 New Zealand Systems Engineering Conference. I would say at this point, it's very much pre-proposal, right? We've talked about it. The committee has talked about it. No decisions have been made, and no formal proposal has been raised either. We want to try to deconflict it with other regional conferences that we know are valuable to our members. The Systems Engineering Test and Evaluation Conference, which is organized by the Australian chapter, and the Asia Oceania Sector Conference, which I don't know the date for 2027, but maybe, if we don't want to hold it in conflict with that, but maybe we could host AOSEC 2027? Maybe? More information will follow, and more information will follow. If you're keen to volunteer for some sort of something around this one, please get in touch. Again, the committee we're all volunteers, and the good things that get done around here get done because people who care put their hand up to participate. Speaking of people who care and participation, this year at the end of the 26-27 year, that is April 2027, a new committee will be installed, and all the chapter committee roles are up for re-election. President, vice president, treasurer, secretary, and member at large. We might be expanding, there's a possibility that we would expand the committee to include one additional committee member at large, because as a termed out president, I can't be president anymore. But as the immediate past president, I would have a role in the committee. Anyway, we might need an additional person to put their hand up to volunteer. They're 2-year terms. They run from 27. They'll run from the AGM in 2027 to the AGM in 2029. I've talked about the timeline. Aiming for an expression of interest call later in the calendar year, with an election either very late in the calendar year or very early next calendar year. One of the requirements under the Incorporated Societies Act of 2022 is that the committee disclose any conflicts of interest. So the 5 committee members have been polled, and we have no conflicts of interest to disclose at this time. So, 2 motions on the table. I'd like to move to adopt the 2026 INCOSE New Zealand annual report as presented today, and move to adopt the 2026 financial report as presented today. So we'll do the same polling thing that we did before, where we'll need a verbal yes for the record. If you accept, you may accept one, none. You may vote no. You may vote in favor of only one. Please identify which one. Or you may vote in favor of both. Okay, so expected answers are yes, yes both, no both, or yes one, no one. Please tell us which. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. I'm going to walk through the attendees list and call you up by name. Can I get Steve, can I get you to help me tally the votes for this one?
Yeah, no worries, Jess.
Cool, sweet. So I'll try to do it, but we'll cross check along the way. So very good. So we'll start alphabetically by surname at the very, very top with Ryan Bougen.
Yes to both motions.
Thank you. Chris Berganza.
Yes to both motions.
Thank you. Tim Brown.
Yes to both.
Thank you. Ben Coyle-Smith.
Both.
Come again, sorry?
Yes to both.
Thank you. Hamish Curry.
Yes, yes to both.
Thank you. Duncan. Is that yes to both? Did anybody catch that? I did not.
It was yes to both, if it's coming through.
Oh, very good. Thank you, Duncan. Andy Kerr. I don't think it's may not be with us. Nathan King.
Yes. Hello. Yep. I accept both.
Great. Thank you. Janusz.
Yes to both.
Great. Karina.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Kelly.
Yes to both.
Thank you. Tom.
Yes to both.
Thank you. Yasmin.
Yes to both.
Thank you very much. Ryan O'Donoghue.
Yes to both.
Thank you. Russell Pinchin.
Hello.
Yes. Hi, Russell.
Hi, did you get that?
No, I didn't. Can you please
Yes to
repeat?
both.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yes to both.
Great. Hannah Ralph.
Yes to both.
Thank you. Eric.
Yes to both.
Jan.
Yes to both.
Jos.
Yes to both.
Gary.
Yes to both.
Thank you. Steve Wallace.
Yes to both.
Thank you. John Welford.
Yes to both.
Russell McMullen.
Yes to both.
Thank you. And yeah, I vote also yes to both. Anybody, that is, I say that if it's not unanimous, it certainly passes the simple majority. So thank you very much for that. We did put a call out for member motions, and no motions were received for consideration at this time. Ahead of each AGM, you are, as members, you are allowed to propose something for us to discuss and talk about, debate, and vote on at a membership, at a formal meeting of the membership like this. We didn't receive any prior, so we have no such motions for consideration today. So at this point, comment, question, thoughts, observations time. This is the all other business. If anybody, so it's open floor. If you don't mind, please put your hand up so that we can at least do it in a kind of an orderly way, in a Zoom hand. Any questions, comments, thoughts, observations from any members in attendance today? All right, that was a count of 10. No questions, comments, thoughts, observations from members in attendance today. So at this point, I move that the AGM for INCOSE New Zealand, the 2026 AGM for INCOSE New Zealand be adjourned. Can I get a second?
Steve Wallace seconds.
Thank you very much. Awesome. So what I will do here is I will stop sharing. And I will, anybody who wants to hang around for a demo of INCOSE Connect, awesome sauce, fabulous, wonderful. I will turn the recording off so that we don't watch my fumbling. Stop recording.